Okay, so for today's task I thought I'd do something a little bit different. This is a task I've been sent. This is a card game. Each in the game there's a deck of 30 cards. Each card's numbered 1 to 10 and they're one of three colours, red, black or yellow. Cards are shuffled. Player takes top two cards from the deck. If they're the same colour then the highest value wins. If they're not the same colour then this is the table that generates the win. So player 1 beats player 2 black, player 1 beats player 2's red, player 1's black beats player 2's yellow, and the opposite is the case, would be the lose, or the player 2 win. So you've got to keep a winner for each round, pick the cards, keep playing until you've got no cards left. I'm not going to do the authorised player, I'm not going to do the valid. What I will look at is shuffling the deck, allowing the players to take the card from the top of the deck until there's no cards left, calculates up, displays which player wins, and then does a list of all the cards held by the winning player. So let's take a look at the Flowgorithm I've come up with. Okay, so this is my program. It's quite a complex one, so I will save it for download, and there'll be a link in the description. The main bits are actually built someone else's work. So in Roberto's brilliant manual there's lots of examples, and the reason I did this one is because I spotted he had a method for shuffling the array, which I've always found problematic in Flowgorithm. So this is his shuffle array Flowgorithm. Array comes in, does the shuffle, calls the swap function, does the shuffle. So that's going to shuffle it. I've created an array, a function that populates. First of all, it puts the 10 red cards in, then it puts the 10 yellow cards in, then it puts the 10 black cards in, and then it initialises the player 1, player 2 decks where their results are going to go. I've got a draw function, so this takes everything in, calls the first two things, displays them on the screen, and then are checking whether they win. So if they're both the same, it's down this side, and it's just to do with whether one is bigger than the other. I've made use, if you look at because it's a string in the array, looking at the first character which contains a B, for example, for black. Player 1 wins, player 2, keep track of the score, place those two in the deck. If not, this is the table for when player 1 wins based on the table, or whether player 2 wins based on that table. As I've interpreted it, I may have interpreted the table wrong. Outputs whether they win or not, stores it in the deck, keeps track of the score, returns it. If we look at the main, you can see that I set up a score array. So score 0 is player 1, score 1 is player 2. There's the two decks. That's going to, in worst case scenario, this will have 30, this will have none in it if he wins every round, or she wins every round. Sets the score to 0. So there's the deck being declared. Load the array, send it the deck, and you see that function. So that goes to load array. That goes to that. As I just said, populates the arrays. Shuffles the deck. That's going to shuffle it. I've got a breakpoint there so I can see what's happening, and then I've got my 20, 30 rounds. Now notice I do it every step of 2. That's because you're drawing 2 cards each time. So we call the draw function. That does the mechanics of the game itself, which we saw earlier. I've got another breakpoint there so I can stop and see what's happening, and then I've got my display the result function. So it comes in, displays what the two scores were. If player 1 score is bigger than player 2 score, then player 1 wins. Outputs their array. Notice here I'm checking the length, so as you'll see when I populate the array, it's got lots of gaps in depending on where they won, as you'll see as a play. so it only prints out the ones that have got values in them, and the same for player 2. So let's pop up the result window so you can see at the first breakpoint the deck's been filled and it's been randomised. The next step, it's playing through the game, and we can see, this is what I was talking about with the arrays, we can see that where player 1 has won here, there's nothing putting here because I've not kept track separately of the arrays, I've just kept track of mission. So we've got win, 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 loss, and obviously that side win, 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 and so on. So I've done my 30 draws, score is 10-5. So if we carry on with the game, we've got score was 10-5. Player 1 wins. There's the deck. And there's player 1's deck. So R5, we go up to B7, and then we ignore all the gaps straight to B9, and so on. An example of quite a complicated game using Flowgorithm, taking advantage of someone else's shuffle function to be able to make the whole thing work.